Hello. So our team, Team Multiverse, team number 23, made Bias.ly, Biasly. It's a bias analytics tool made by Anirudh Vemurai, Rohan Bafna, Krishnan Shankar, and Uzair Sayed. It is meant to offer real people a chance to reveal the hidden narratives behind their sources, since oftentimes news sources can edit their titles to make it seem more negative towards a certain party or whatnot. The front end utilizes HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap framework to create a responsive, stylish, and functional user interface. This is hosted and served by our backend using Python and Flask, which also contains our natural language processing algorithm NLTK, that API. This algorithm uses the News API and parses popular news stories to determine sentiment values. These values show how biased news sources are towards these specific words. So here we have our interface over here, search bar, and then a tutorial thing. So let's say we search up gun using all news networks. That's gonna give us, that's gonna search through all the news websites that's within our databases and print out a bar graph, a line graph. So here you can see that the total news articles that were searched and published throughout the days. So like over here, 6 days ago is 53, and you can see how there's like a negative trend towards guns in the media within the past 2 weeks. And then let's see if we search something like shooting on CNN. Uh, we have, give it a time. We have a really negative trend, which makes sense because shootings are obviously a bad thing, but there's also fewer articles about shootings. And then we can do the same thing with Fox News and then compare how each media outlet displays the information. So here we have there's like a slightly more positive trend, but it's still negative overall. And there's a lot more articles by Fox News about shootings. And then we can search through vaccines uh, through our search thing, all news networks. And then since vaccines are a pretty hot topic right now, it's going to be somewhat there's going to be more articles about it. It's taking a longer time right now because it's searching through all the articles, and you can see we've reached our maximum articles just because of how many articles have been written about the vaccine. And then you can see like a somewhat basically neutral trend. So that means that most media outlets are doing their job on like presenting just the facts. And then if we go over here to our see how it works button, you can see that it just like autofills for the user so they can easily just see how it works. So then it's searching Trump on CNN, and there's a slightly negative bias towards him, which is expected from a left-centered news outlet like CNN. The people who contributed were Rohan Bafna, who worked on the back end of Biasly, helped the front end team to decide on some basic design elements, as well as contributing his laptop as host for Visual Studio, which caused him to use a lot of resources, and to help find which natural language API to use. Within the backend, Rohan made all the necessary functions to request data from the news API, simplify it, and run it through the NLTK sentiment analysis. In addition to this, Rohan helped Uzair debug and simplify some of his code. Uzair worked alongside Rohan on the backend portion with helping the front end team on some basic design elements and searching on an effective natural language API. Uzair mainly optimized the backend code and some of other things. Anirudh is responsible for working in the front end team to develop a clean and modern design to the website and the well made tutorial button. More specifically, Anirudh is responsible for design, layout, and website, along with making the graphs which represent the data that the backend developers returned. Working alongside Anirudh, Krishna worked in the front end team, helping design and implement our UI to make it the best experience for the user. Looking at Krishna's contributions in depth, he made the search bar and the demo features, but also helped communicate with the backend team all necessary data to the front end team will need in order to have an effective website. Thank you.